A house on Cape Cod, a second house on Cape Cod. I know you've probably dreamed of that, maybe even heard of people who have dreamed of it. Well, today's agent, who I'm excited to introduce to you, is going to talk about what it looks like to own a luxury property on Cape Cod, but more importantly, the branding lessons that apply to everybody, regardless of where you're selling real estate. We're going to go deep on, do you have a brand that actually speaks to the clients that you want to work with and teammates who you want to be working with? So again, don't miss today's episode. This is going to be a great one. We're going to go in depth again on being sure that your brand actually attracts the kind of people that you want in your world. Stay with us. The big question is this: how do those of us in the real estate industry with crazy amounts of ambition, how do we think bigger than the building of our own empires? How do we simultaneously seek success and significance, income and impact? My name is Justin Stoddart, and this is the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. All right, welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. Excited to be with you today. Excited to introduce today's guest, Tia Lilly, out of Cape Cod. Tia, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Justin. Very excited.
I'm excited to have you here as well.
Be here. Yeah.
So for those that don't know that much about Cape Cod, as I described in the intro, I think everybody's at least heard of somebody who dreamed of, on their dream board is, I want a second home on Cape Cod. So I mean, that's not an uncommon comment. So would you just tell us why Cape Cod is such a desirable place for people to have a luxurious second home?
Well, the Cape is driven a lot by the water. It's absolutely gorgeous in the beaches. It's very well known for their beaches, their oceans, and believe it or not, lakes, ponds. So it's like an island. Everyone's heard of Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. So the Cape, you come over the Sagamore, the Bourne Bridge, and it's just like decompressing. That's what all my clients say. And we all feel the same way, whoever we are. You come over these bridges and it's like the air changes. It's special. It's just, you relax. So it's very beautiful and
I love
just
it.
Spectacular. So have you ever been?
I've never been, and I'm feeling I have a place like that close to where I live, to where you're bringing back those same feelings. So I think one thing that I want to point out to everybody that's listening here today is that regardless even of what industry you're in, a brand should make you feel a certain way. And what you just described right there, Tia, I think is an important step on where we're going today with this episode, which is on branding. It's more than just the colors of your logo, right? I would say that's just a small part of it. Right. But it's really how it makes people feel. In fact, there's a great, actually a great definition that I found recently that I thought was really good. Like, what is a brand? A brand is the identity and story of a provider that makes it stand out from competitors that offer similar services. All right, branding aims to earn space in the target audience's mind and becomes their preferred option for doing business. Thank you, HubSpot, for that great definition. But the part that I really enjoyed about that is that it's a story, right? It's a story that makes you feel a certain way. And I think what you just described, when you go across the bridge to the Cape, right?
Right.
You feel a certain way. And I think our brands ought to make us feel like, for example, when I look at Nike or Apple or whatever, there's a certain feeling that happens when I look and I interact with a brand. And so I think you've already taught us our first lesson is that we should feel a certain way, just like the Cape causes your clients and you to feel a certain way.
Well, I love your perspective on that. I hadn't actually thought of it that way until listening to you, but absolutely. A brand is it's a lot. And it's like for me anyways, and for my team and our company, it's a niche. So I feel lucky because I fell into that niche very early on. I started with an entry-level company that was predominantly foreclosures. And I'm like, this just isn't for me. This is just not for me. I don't know. I made a mistake in my career. And then I got lucky. Well, fast forward, but we had a website because I'm very much an introvert. I think I've heard you speak on that too. I don't, getting into the business, I don't and I'm getting to the brand, believe me, I'm getting there. But I'm not the type of person when I was first just a realtor that is going to run around in the grocery store with my tag and my cards and call me. And to this day, I don't even talk about real estate with friends. They come to me. I'm not a big promoter. So I actually just got completely lucky and started we had a website that drove buyers. So I started with buyer agency. So brand is more to me branding, like you think of these big company chains when you think of branding and you think of high end. I'll just say Sotheby's, Berkshire Hathaway, Kinlan Compass, right? These are well-known brands that people see, they trust, they feel comfortable with. So we're new, we're young. So we're starting to brand. However, where I'm not young is probably about 15 years into this niche with buyer agency. So makes it a little bit more challenging in branding because we've had to be creative in our thinking because you don't have the sign in the yard. I mean, my friends would never think I sold a house. They're like, "Do you do anything?" Because it was all buyer agency.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just, helped a couple buy this $3 million home over here or two here. Oh, really? I just never see your name anywhere. So that was a lot of what propelled me to start my own was because of branding, because you're in an entry level company. Now you want to turn around and sell higher end homes. You have to have that presentation for it.
Mhm.
So it's a niche and you've got to go to your target market. So everything we do is research target market. We're not we wouldn't be a brand known maybe to everyday homes necessarily because we're not out in front of them. There's a lot to it, but I don't know how deep you want me to go in
No,
terms of
no,
that.
I think that was a really interesting point is that you realized the way you were doing business, you were getting no branding, right? People were coming to you through the website, but beyond that, if you really wanted to pivot the business and go more listing side,
Correct.
without a sign in the yard, you were invisible, right?
Yeah,
You were behind the scenes. Nobody knew you were actually even selling homes. And
correct.
it is really interesting to say of all the work I'm doing, is it visible? Can people actually see what I'm doing? Not from an ego standpoint, right? Because that's not you,
Right.
that's not me, but from a
Mhm.
standpoint of I want to attract the very best clients and I want to make it easier and easier to get the next clients. One of my coaches says the most efficient business plan is fame. Like fame is the most efficient business plan. Is that if people already know you, that you don't have to work so hard to get them.
Right, right. And that's been a challenge for me because this is new for me. What just even being on here talking to you, this is so new for me because I love to stay with my clients, work with my clients one on one. I don't like to be out front and center. Everything's about them. I mean, I just got interviewed for a job the other day and they're like, kind of, how do you work? I said, it's really how you work. You're going to tell me, I'm going to adapt to you. And that's a lot of how it's just and it's all referral based basically. We do most of our business off referral based by just getting deep with our clients. I always say we're in the people business. As a result, we sell houses,
Mm, yeah.
So, yeah.
I think there's a lot of wisdom in that is that what I've seen a lot of people do to compete with big tech platforms is to try and mechanize so much of what they do, right? And I think that there's value in systems so long as that's not taking you away from building value and brand with those people who you most want to serve, right?
Right.
When
Right.
you think of system, you can be systematic, and I believe if you're not systematic, you're sporadic, and if you're sporadic, you'll be ineffective. But I also think,
Agree.
to your point that um, when you can really identify, okay, this is my niche. They're very high end clients buying a second home in a very expensive place. There's a certain level of customer experience that they're going to expect, and that part of my niche is that I'm adaptive to what it is that they're wanting, right?
Their needs, and they're all different. We're all different as individuals, as people, as how it is, and that's exactly it. It's not a one size fits all. It's so different. So, for example, like full service, we spend more time prepping a house to go to market than sometimes it takes to sell the house. It's just so much to it. We have a full stager on board. We stage all our houses. They're presented. It's always present. That's what I encourage our fellow realtors out there, no matter what market you're in, what brand. We all, I love to see people successful, whether they're with my team or another team. It's fantastic. You love to follow that. It's just, we should all work together and try to raise our game too, as realtors out there. Let's take pride in what we do. It doesn't mean everybody has to go stage a house every time, but let's, put some thought into photos and how we're going to put it up there, make a bed, move the trash, things like that. I think we have so much is online. So I'd love to bring self-awareness to that if anyone's out there listening and thinks about that, because their clients don't know, even the higher end. And don't get me wrong, we do everything, but that's our niche, is more the luxury. But we take everyday homes and help them as well.
Well, I think there's wisdom in what you're saying there about having that niche in place, because again, if you were to just say, yeah, we serve all property needs, and not say, and this is our specialty, right? I think some people think that they're going to earn less if they niche down. And I do think you can say, look, I'm a licensed real estate agent. We serve this particular area. In fact, with the referral opportunity, we connect people to top real estate professionals across the country, right? I think is a very real thing you could say as well. But
yes.
when it really comes down to attracting your ideal clients, because again, sometimes when we have this conversation with agents, their comment will be, well, I don't want to say that I specialize here, because then I'll be saying no to all of this. And I help them understand that not necessarily, right? I think it's how you position it, but you can absolutely say, and we specialize in serving these clients. Because if you don't actually, and this is one of the biggest challenges I think from agents who work by referral, is they get sent all over the place, and because it came from someone they love, someone that they know, they feel like they got to serve that person. And so pretty soon their value and their brand can get diluted down. And so what's the alternative, right? Is to, yes, you want referrals more than chasing leads, no doubt, right? But you can also be very specific about the kind of referrals that are ideal for you. Because if you don't put it out there, they're not reading your mind, right? Your brand actually needs to reflect that fact. And it sounds like that's something that you've done, is you've said, look, of course we serve all property owners that need, that need help. But really our specialty is in the high-end luxury clients on the Cape. Like that's your group, right? Those are the people who, if you had to choose between A, B, and C, you'd choose B. This group these are the people who we serve the very best, right? So to everybody listening here, my question to you is, do you know that about yourself? Like, can you absolutely say, like, yes, my brand is regularly attracting the kind of people and clients that I want? Because if you're constantly getting like maybe lower end clients or difficult clients or whatever, you might ask yourself, what's causing this? Is there something I can pivot with my brand to where I do like Tia's doing, where I actually get regular repeat referrals to my ideal clients on the Cape, like second home buyers coming out, like, and listings, right? Once you really hone in on that, if you're not getting it, then there's something off with your brand, right? Would you agree with that, Tia?
I would completely agree with that. Absolutely. And usually where you're getting the referrals, like we say, we talk about surrounding, you hear that all the time. We surround ourselves with people that, make us better, right? Or successful. So what you get with the people, that's where your referral base comes from too. I took a lot of flack in my career to get here. Like a lot of people disagreed. They said, just go sell anything. It doesn't matter. And I would stick to my guns and hope it's paying off. So we'll see.
You said, I want to serve these people.
And that's where that's my happy place. And it's not just like it's not for me. It's not just about money. It's about that's where I got here. It's the opportunities and the intellect that come with the clients. They're just amazing. I get to interact with the most amazing people ever. And that's what I love. It's the house just comes, but the people they become my friends. Right? It's beautiful. It's love. It's awesome.
I hope that everybody listening to this today can build the kind of business that when you talk about your clients, you get a smile on your face. I know.
I love them. I do.
I've dealt with enough professionals in this and neighboring industries they're like, well, they hear the word clients and it almost causes this like there's some misalignment there. Like if you think about interacting with clients or prospecting for clients, whatever that looks like, could be just having, very referral based conversations with people. But if that experience causes a negative reaction, my belief is that you're probably pursuing the wrong clients. You ought to have that. You actually ought to love the people. And that's, I mean, can you imagine a better life where you're making the kind of money that you want to make and you're surrounded by the kind of people you like to be around? Like, to me, guys, that's a successful career, right? That's what it looks like. And sometimes it's simply a matter of going back and asking the question of like, okay, who is it that I really do love to serve? And is there financial viability there? Like if I spend all my time with those clients, can I actually produce that outcome? If the answer is like yes, then do what Tia did, right? Which is go all in on that group, right? Go all in on catering your services to accommodate that group. And I'd love to hear from you, Tia. What have you done in your practice that makes you uniquely situated to serve, these types of ideal clients, these luxury second home buyers on the Cape?
It all started with our propertycapecod.com. Still have the website's been with me for decades. Well, almost decades coming up. But it's just it attracted, and it's ebbed and flowed over the years with online, with everything changing. But you start with, people find me they used to find me anyways through the website mainly. And then you just build a relationship with them. And then they refer you to their friends or their family. You build more relationships. And I mean, I started to look back this year. I mean, 90% of our sales are referral based, which is incredible. And we're looking, that's where I'm looking, even coming on to, this is hard for me to be out front and center, but we want to help other people. Now we're at a point where we want to grow. And
as a brokerage,
and it's super important. Like our cause, like we're completely dedicated to helping enrich people's life one connection at a time. That's the cause of the company. It comes in all forms, and it starts with my team. Like I'm so invested in their success, so anybody part of our team, like they need to be making at least, 6 figures, be successful, obviously have the qualities that fit with the company culture. But it's about people. It's people. And if you're real with the people, and I enjoy it, I love them. Like that's the part they're client friends. Sometimes I don't even want to say client when I refer them to the mortgage person or to this, and it's connections to other people. They call me all the time. Hey, I need a roofer. Who should I use? I need this. I need that. I love that. It's like, it's an honor to have people call and want to get the input. And then I'm able to connect people within our network. So, so it's just people, it's relationships. I'm not a big, how's the weather person. I like to be deeper. Yeah.
You want to add real value that really moves the needle for people. I think this is a great opportunity for me to give a plug for the sponsor of the show, Pro Insight. And the purpose of Pro Insight is to elevate the influence of the professionals with whom we work. And I share that because one of the things that we look for at Pro Insight, and I'm the CEO of Pro Insight, is looking for agent professionals like you, Tia, right?
Justin.
That truly love their clients and offer such value that they actually can influence them to a CPA, to a financial advisor, to a
lawyers, attorneys, more. Yeah. It's
when you haven't built the rapport and the value with your clients, they don't come asking. And even if you were to say, hey, I know a good lender, they'd be like, oh, we're good. We have somebody, right? But when you've paid the price to pour into people as you have, now all of a sudden you're able to give real value to your clients by making those professional connections. And lo and behold, those professional connections are able to now do the same thing for you, to where now your referral base extends beyond just friends, family, past clients, but now it's into the professional sphere, which can, by the way, happen a lot more frequently. So I love it. You're kind of a walking prototype, right, of the type of agent that we believe elevates the game for the real estate industry, because you do such a good job and you care about your people enough and you actually have a specific niche, who you're trying to serve, that it gets really easy for consumers to want to refer you and for other professionals to want to be in business with you. Right. I mean, it's just natural. So well done.
Thank you, Justin. Too kind, but thank you.
Is there anything else when we're talking about brand and really creating a brand that attracts the right teammates and the right clients? Is there anything else that you want to share as we wrap up here, Tia?
Well, I think a lot of it for attracting the right clients is, first of all, you have to be in front of them. So we're talking about people we don't know, right? So build trust, build awareness. We do a lot of that through, like, we have a magazine that goes out to all the waterfront people in certain areas that talk about different real estate tips and different attributes. So things like that. But it's attracting, like, what I've learned and I'm still learning is attracting the right agents. That's you got to really know what you want. You have to know what you want basically in both. You really have to sit down and have a figure out what kind of client you want and what is the agent look like that works for you.
Again, back to
works with you, I should say. Yeah.
Really goes back to what we talked about at the beginning, right? Which is, once you're really clear on who you want to serve, everything else gets a lot easier, right? Your messaging, your marketing, like all of that, you can run through the filter of, does this serve this client that I want to be in business with?
Yeah, it's so basic, but I think, like, for me, it was missed for a while. And then you go back to basics to look at. The client always was, that part was there, but and then how to be in front of them. But yeah, it's so simple that it's, I don't know, can be complicated, but yet so simple. If that
we overcomplicate it.
We overcomplicate. I overcomplicate. Yeah.
Okay. Final question, Tia. You're a big thinker. You're doing some great things on the Cape, and really teaching us a lot about branding. Tell me, what is it that Tia Lilly does to continue to be a big thinker, to continue to expand your possibilities and the ways that you grow your business and yourself? What does that look like for you?
Comes in a few different looks, but I think, like, basics. I think I hear a lot, like coaching, definitely coaching advisors. A big part for me is meditation. I meditate. I can't start my day without meditation. And I meditate every day. I'm actually trying to meditate twice a day. I find it is amazing what it does. I don't know why, how it just helps you to be better in so many ways. So I read a lot and then process. I sit with myself I try to designate in my day timer to sit with myself for a couple hours a week. Just sit there, just process and think. The other thing is fitness. I'm into fitness. For some reason, that release, it helps you to just think bigger. And I think a part of it, I love to think bigger because it's in so many forms, but I think the bottom line when you're thinking bigger, at least for me, and what I had to overcome, was to just really believe in yourself when you're thinking bigger. I think we can all think big, but applying it is a whole nother thing. Then we start listening to the people around us sometimes, and it can kind of squash what you're thinking about if you let it. And that's the part, to just believe in yourself, think bigger. You can do anything we set our minds to. If I can do this, anybody can do anything, honestly. So
well, I'm confident that you probably got to that point. Number one, because you've had a lot of success, number one. But number two, you've actually spent the time to create a space to think. I think of all the things that I've learned, I would have to agree with you that in today's world, where we're jumping from email to text to social media to voicemail, it's just this constant hamster wheel. And when we actually block out time to turn it off, sit down with a pen and paper, journal things out, talk through, think through, what is it that I'm facing? What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? What's in the way? How can I resolve that? We start to realize that we actually have answers to the questions that we have. And we're able to get a lot further faster. So I love your example on that. I would invite everybody who's listening here today to do what Tia is doing, not only in branding, but also in carving time out every week, right? 1 to 2 hours every week to just sit and be with yourself and journal and write and think through the issues at hand and how you can improve yourself and your service to your clients. And lo and behold, answers will come, right? Answers will come.
They do. They always do. There's a solution to every problem, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Tia, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show today. I
Yeah.
want to thank you for tuning in and helping contribute to this concept of if we don't have the ideal teammates or the ideal clients, there's something that we can do about it, right? We can really change the way that
Absolutely.
our brand shows up to attract those people into our lives. So I appreciate it very much. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me, Justin.
Oh,
It's
it's
an
my pleasure.
honor.
My pleasure. And to everybody listening here today, the final request is this: go think bigger. Thanks again for helping us do that, Tia.
Thank you so much.
If you found value in anything that you heard here today, do me a favor and just take a quick screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on social media. That will give you the heads up to create more content like this in future episodes. Also, if you are wanting to build your wealth advisory team in less than 30 days that gives you 2 to 4 professional referrals every month, go to proinsight.com or you can reach out to